What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Type QQ channel. We are back with Salt Android Cactus and with Peanut here as well. I had a little test run, as you can see. Yeah, checked out that first little level or stage in this level, and really liked it. So we're going with her for a little bit. Can't guarantee this whole video will be just of her, but I love this sort of medium range fire attack, and then you can kind of alternate with that sort of big drill. You can just charge right through a whole lot of guys. You know, as much as I like the Holly character, maybe trying some other things wouldn't hurt. So we tried her out for a bit. Got some sort of achievement there for chain reaction, but yeah. Like I was saying in other videos and also on Twitter, I've got a couple really long videos, and this is the first one of it. This is an hour and 20 minutes long, or roughly. So do buckle down, buckle in. We got a long ways to go in this video, but the good news is that with any sort of guess or clue, you know, I think you know where this video will lead us. So I do appreciate if you want to go the whole distance with us today. If not, I'll have a Hurricane of Varstray video as well, going quite the distance as well. But yeah, I really like Peanut. She's got this sort of like real sort of Mad Max, you know, heavy metal look to her. This sort of magma tosser type of flamethrower type thing with that sort of drill. Yeah, and especially in this stage where it's so close knit, or at least, I mean, that's the one default is there's certainly enemies you don't want to charge into. When she collides, it's almost like a wrestling ring where she can bounce off the side of the wall and really not be too far from, you know, like a rebound. I mean, I actually really kind of fail to see any sort of real drawback to her. You know, she packs quite the punch on both of her attacks. You know, I guess she does have to be, you know, you have to be kind of exact with a few things. You know, you can certainly waste some time if you missed your drill. You're off drilling, you know, drilling the air for no reason. But other than that, she seems like a real solid character, and I would certainly not be surprised by that, because she's one of the later characters that you can unlock. You know, and she does a really great job with. You know, this game in particular has a really bad habit of like those batteries or those pickups of just spawning right in the middle of, you know, danger. And she has a great way of just, you know, taking that drill and just charging towards a, you know, a shutdown or a battery just like that, where you can kind of get it to follow you. And where that's really kind of like the name of the game is to keep that battery healthy. You know, that's just like that, you know, she makes it rather easy. Almost an S. And that's just kind of just chaotically bashing around. And you can kind of see here, I would say she's really great at close quarters. Believe it or not, you know, if it's open and wide, you know, wide open spaces, that sort of thing, you can really, you know, if you make an error with your drill, you can really go really far and just kind of waste time. Yeah, but stuff like that where you can just recklessly charge into the guys and just um, really do some harm. I think that's really where she excels at. And there's really nothing that really survives a, you know, sort of that drill tackle. You know, if you can really land that drill and drag somebody along and smash them against the wall, like there's nothing really that survives it. Yeah, and tight quarters like that, that's that's all Peanut. You know, that you can that's just falling right into our trap. You know, if everyone can get in a nice like single filed line. Yeah, all day, good stuff. Yeah, those sort of ghosts with their lasers. They it's funny, kind of giving them a taste of their own medicine, sort of thing. And not a terrible range either. You know, we can reach out and get those jellyfish. And you would have to think this magma has a sort of like a status effect damage. You know, it may have like a sort of burn damage attached to it as well. Easy stuff, you know. Kind of touch and go. It looks like we, died 4 times, but enough to get an A. And now we're introduced to this sort of this level where it kind of reminds me of the sort of what is it, the butcher fight? I think it's the butcher fight. It's one of the fights in Diablo where parts of the floor get hot, and you don't want to be on top of them when they are ignited, that sort of thing. But what I've noticed with Peanut is that you can just kind of drill over them and not really take damage, or at least if I did, I didn't really particularly notice. Just destroyed that ghost. I believe we probably got burnt a bit too much there. Yeah, yeah. It's it's pretty remarkable. You know, you get these big sort of juggernaut characters that show up, and you can immediately just immediately drill them down. It would have been nice if we hit all three of us at the same time, but it is what it is. But yeah, I had worked on my on these videos last night, and I thought I was going to get a lot of them done, but I actually had a lot more in my backlog than I had actually first thought. So I wasn't able to get the big ones out. I got all the smaller ones, the ones that were like 15 to 20 minutes long, compared to 120 minutes long. So I guess that's going to be really my project today, is to make sure we get these big ones out. At the very least, without putting too much more on our plate, kind of to clear out the backlog, really. I'm not sure if anyone's really particularly interested in watching hour-long videos, but who knows? Who knows? At least get them up there and see what people think. It's surprisingly enough, that stupid-ass Shooting Stars game seems to be, interesting to maybe at least even just to Jim, but I didn't think anyone would give two rat shits about that. But this is also coming from the channel that Deep Space by Foo is our most popular video by a country mile. Yeah, these turrets don't stand a chance. Nice hit with everything there. I like that. I don't know. What do you guys think of this game? Do you think that we're pretty much coming to the end of it? Do you guys really think that this is that this game's premise really carries on? This is a super long stage, and it implores the sort of some of the places of the floor are hot, don't be there, but then it doesn't really make it more compelling. It's just adds more guys, and the places get faster. I don't know. I've enjoyed this playthrough, and I'm pretty happy to say that without spoilers, this could be the last video. But I don't know. I guess I'm not really sold on on this game in the gaming universe. It certainly is just a game. We drop into these weird rooms. Oh, we got Licorice, the sort of evil assault android, who kind of seemed to be ahead of everything, or in charge of everything. you know, it's like they just, you know, it wasn't. I guess what I'm trying to say when I say this is a game is that, you know, you see a lot of the same enemies. You know, you see really strange looking stages that are really just built like battle arenas for no other reason, just to be battle arenas. And later stages seem to be earlier stages, just with more enemies and longer times. So you just have to kill more, survive longer, that sort of, that, you know, and that sort of thing. You know, there's some new characters that have different abilities, but yeah. Besides that, that's that. You know, not too much really. You know, keeping me interested, I suppose. Which I'm glad, you know, with, you know, in a good way, I'm glad there's not like 12 more levels, you know, because, you know, I think it kind of would have wore out its welcome. Just getting beat up a lot in this stage. In fact, these next few stages are probably going to be the hard ones, really. This one in particular is a sort of like endurance run that once you finally kill all the bad guys that Licorice sort of sends out to you, then you kind of have to outlast her. I'm getting real close to. Alright, now we get to fight Licorice. And I actually think this is a pretty, you know, as I was just ranting, raving how much, you know, this, that, and the other thing that I didn't like about the game, this is actually pretty interesting. You know, she's just like you where she doesn't necessarily die per se. However, she can take up the pickups, she can power up her gun, and she can take the battery. So, you know, it's not so much that you're versing her, but you're both trying to survive, keep your battery, you know, charged the longest. So as I, you know, drilled that guy down, and as well as that one, she took both batteries. So, so if it's not immediate, we're going to quickly find that Peanut's probably not the best character for this fight, only because we're going to be giving her more batteries than we really need to. It may take us a few attempts to really for it to kind of sink in. But that's okay. It's all about trial and error right now. Some good drills, like the one that took out that turret and then the big bot behind it. Thought we could bounce right into that shutdown, but Yeah, these jellyfish can get pretty nasty if you let them do their thing. And we left a damn battery somewhere. But I think with that lost battery, I think that's gonna have some effect. I don't think these last designs are last levels are designed to allow you to live without a battery. Yeah, we're starting this already in reds. So we just started that fight. Started this fight dead. Some good drill fishing. In the mine, still doing mine things to us. Good combo there. Probably some of the more annoying enemies there with the jellyfish and sort of ghost wizards. Kind of hoping we could take out that turret as well, but it looks like we may have damaged it but not killed it. Thing got thrashed. But yeah, the magma really does a number on things. Does not take very long for things to go down when you're. So we're maybe at like 55% health compared to the 100. So we just have to keep the batteries. That's kind of where it's at. Yeah, and the sad thing is if we didn't fall down at the same time, we're kind of double KOing ourselves there. Which will really work in her benefit because we just need to have healthier battery than she does. I mean, that's kind of the fight, is that, when it comes to killing bad guys, we just have to make sure that the batteries are picked up. And that's kind of it, is that sort of, we're doing all the heavy lifting and she's just picking it up. Yeah, she even picked up that last battery as well. That give it another go with Peanut. If nothing else, we're persistent. Wasting too much time with that little drone type guy. You pretty much go all the way around the stage if you really wanted to. But there's just no bad guys around there, so no sense. Pretty good charge there. Wiped out pretty much all the little ones there. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, she doesn't have the highest range ever, but, or the longest range ever, but you know, that was a pretty good move there, where we were able to knock her down, but then recover that battery. But still, that's not something we want to do every time. You know, we kind of. All right, and there we are. We're tapped out on Peanut. I think we pretty much figured out what we said, is that the dash move, as good as it is against enemies, not particularly good in this boss. So here we are, tried and true Holly. Beat a couple stages with Peanut, but we're back with Holly. And cannonball homing shot. You know how it is. And I don't know. I mean, you can see from one character to the next, you know, despite the fact that we've been knocked down a few times, you know, things work out a lot better with Holly, at least for us. You know, we can really put those cannonballs to some good use. Yeah, you just like cut through a group of guys like that. Yeah, and even though we were knocked down, we just took down a whole crowd of them. You know, I would say there's actually a lot of similarities between Peanut and Holly. With maybe movement speed on Peanut's advantage. You know, she can be a lot more evasive. But I would say the homing and the magma are rather, you know, medium range, while, you know, both pretty good. I think magma probably does a bit more damage. And the cannonball, of course, is a lot slower, but has the same effect. Kind of getting beat up, although we're kind of neck and neck. You know, if I can grab a battery here, yeah, just like that, you know, that puts me in the lead now. And I think that pretty much does it for her. For one and done with Holly. You really can't go wrong with that. So ultimately, that was kind of the trick, where you want to get your batteries out of your kills. You can almost even ignore licorice all the same. As long as you don't get into that sword attack. And here we are, the final boss, in its many forms. Medulla, I imagine, is how that's pronounced. So I suppose for those who are looking at the timestamp, or at least the length of video, yeah, we're looking at a 50-minute final boss excursion. So yes, as you can tell with all the segmented blocks of vitality, Medulla has a bunch of different forms and stages. It alternates that dome to these sort of refresher final bosses, where it takes the form of one of the bosses you've previously beaten, and kind of brings it up to a sort of like ultimate form. The one thing I do particularly get annoyed and frustrated with is when you do your alt fire, the cannonball attack for this one, she does this sort of like twirl, and if the twirl isn't particularly like timed correctly, you can just get hit and sort of canceled out of your attack, like anywhere between like a quarter to a second to a half a second after you use your button. So it's kind of like, I understand it's a dodge button and an alt fire, so it's kind of like, there's been many times where I go for the cannonball and I'm hitting it, it just drop instead. It's very picky and very something. And another thing that's I find that was really sort of questionable as well is during each phase, the boss drops the battery and like a sort of one of the pickups. However, when the dome gets defeated, it essentially drops both of them underneath the feet of its next form that it's taking. So, like we saw with the swarm boss, is that like, are you supposed to wait a couple seconds to pick it up, or just charge in there and grab the battery at the cost of losing your pickup immediately after picking it up? So check out how both are just hanging out right there, which isn't so bad with when you get the shutdown pickup, but all the same, it's. And there's a few bosses we try to rush down, and I'm not so sure that's particularly like the best strategy. especially with Justice there. I think he's particularly easy if you take your time. And an interesting fact about that boss is that you can actually get some drops out of taking down those grid pylons. So not only is it kind of like in your best interest to kind of focus on some of those, so you're not just hit every step you take, but you could get, you know, a shutdown or a power up or something like that that can actually help with other things. And yeah, this boss is a particularly big coward. I would say keep track. 100% of his movement is backwards. You know, where I'm like a sort of a close range middle ranged character. It's just doing nothing but shooting and walking backwards. I wish there was a pickup that allows you to have like infinite cooldown. I think that would have been a cool add-on. Yeah, we're going to take a lot of damage in these fights, but sometimes it is a matter of endurance. Yeah, this form with these lasers is particularly annoying, but you just, as long as you keep moving, you can kind of outrun their nonsense. But it's easier said than done, that's for sure. See, it's just the battery and that sort of power up just spawn right in underneath Justice. It's kind of, I don't know, I think that's a little silly. But with that firepower. Alright, now to the sort of last chunk of health. And this last piece of Medulla as well isn't actually the hardest, as long as you can kind of keep a close eye, and you might want to take out some of these extra wires and nonsense. And I mean, it might be a good idea as well, because you know there are items inside there upon occasion, or at the very least getting some of those white pickups that can power you up. And there we go. Just when you thought everything was done, you're kind of in this sort of Tron world, and you have to essentially defeat all these sort of polygonal shapes before your battery runs out. So some well-placed cannons are going to be what really makes it or breaks it. And just some rather aggressive play. Probably down to 40%, maybe 35% health now. And ever so dropping as well. just this last handful of enemies. Yeah, 3 enemies. Just those 3 there. And we were pretty close, but not close enough. I mean, we certainly did get punched a bit there at the end, so it is what it is. But that's the that's everything. That's the, you know, if we can now put all the pieces together, minimize damage when it comes to these like silly little you know, bullets here. You know, not get hit in the face with those lasers, not walk into bullets. Yeah. just complete backwards movement. And I think another piece of it is actually when you get some of these power-ups, not to immediately get hit and knocked down. You know, I think that's kind of another questionable design of this, is how this fight, it almost seems like you get a power-up and then immediately hit very quickly after. There's another one of those things I said where you do that sort of spin for the cannonball and you just get hit all the same. Yeah, didn't feel it there. We certainly want to avoid those lasers and kind of, you know, go around the perimeter of the boss, if you know, unless we can feel more confident that we're doing a dodge through the laser. However, that's a lot harder than actually just than just you know, moving away from the lasers. And just the wonder of having a good speed. You know, we were able to tear down a lot of this guy's health. We made some pretty quick work of him. Yeah, another one of those type of things where it's like, I could have really swore I was kind of in a sort of dodging animation, but and believe it or not, there's a sort of, you want to be close to this boss or this form of the boss, but not being too close that it hits you with those spiky petals. Pretty good on our battery health at this point, but you know, we certainly don't want to get hit a lot and ruin it. kind of feeling like we have. Yeah, drop the shit right in front, underneath him. It's just silly. Yeah, and this is what happens when you kind of neglect those pylons there, those laser towers. You know, ultimately, I thought they were a lot lower in the stage, where they're actually not. They're actually in the sort of top arc of the stage. And at that point, I was like, well, maybe we can rush them down. But obviously, a mistake there. Yeah, that was real bad. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Just restart the level at that point. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it right there. You want to just kind of keep moving, get out of the way of the get out of the way of the lasers and everything. Oh, what a fucking coward bitch boss this guy is, huh? Just move backwards. That's all he's gonna do. Just run backwards. Yeah, something. Yeah, this boss fight's one big fuck. The shutdown seems to be one of the better ones that you can get, because you can get in there and immediately, at least use it, I suppose you could just wait a couple seconds, but, where this game is, it's all about, time on your battery, like, you do have to be a little bit aggressive. Getting hit by every flower. Did pretty well there for a while. Getting out of the way of all this. All that trash. Well-timed shutdown, although I'm not sure we have the time to really finish him, especially with that cannon that just missed. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Time to break something. So if you haven't guessed already, we're not stopping until we beat this fucking boss. And I certainly do appreciate it if you're sticking through it this long. It is kind of a struggle and a war of attrition the whole way through. At least we got the cannon on him, but I think we dodge a lot more than the game lets us do.
I've sacrificed too much. Stay there.
Really just kind of powering through some of these forms. So we should be able to get her out of... There we go. So we should be able to do that, but... And also, it's kind of telling us we should be running around the dome as well, because it's giving all these white power-ups around it. We should be powering up our gun as we pick them up. Pretty good round there. Yeah, foolishly letting ourselves get countered, not countered, but cornered by this guy. Yeah, and that's kind of how that works. Something we have to remember is that if we take out some of those towers, we're going to have the ability to walk around and dodge that giant fuck you laser. Staying mobile, moving around, picking up our power-ups, and trying to dodge out of attacks that we... I really can't express how annoying it is when you defeat a form, the pickups and shit are dropped at the feet of the next form. It's just... Yeah, happens every time. Coward bitch boss. Run away. Every step is backwards. Not the best cannonball shot there. Neither was that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this fight is quite annoying. But we do have to at least make an effort of dodging some of these bullets as well. You know, we're only going to be able to take a few of them before we waste time, you know. Waited a second and still, as soon as just hit it, or just got hit as soon as you pick that fucking thing up. Being too far away is not going to be very helpful because the bugs are going to sort of aggro all the shots. Yeah, that's going to be the end of that. Just put any brains or just restart. But pretty good dodge there, so we don't get lasered, and another good dodge there. Yeah, I would prefer that all these pickups would be shutdowns, because they're at least the ones we can at least use. Everything else we don't have any shot of actually using. You know, I would think the shutdown one is maybe the least effective, but it gives us a couple seconds of just free reign on the boss. I wonder if they actually take more damage as well while they're shut down. It seems to be, or at the very least, you know, there's not like other nonsense soaking up damage. I don't really know. I'm sure being shut down would result in being shot up more. I just don't know if those shots actually do extra damage as well. But it does seem like it. Some good movement here. But I wonder if it takes up too much time. Smartly just said fucks to that. And another shutdown there. Yeah, you see how much life that took down when you cannonball him while he's shut down? I'm willing to guess that, you know, you do just like critical damage. right, now we're onto the sort of matrix version now. And what's kind of good is that it does heal you up to max. So it's not a matter of you have to, you know, come in here perfect. Nice hit there with the cannonball. And ultimately, that's kind of what we're looking for in this fight, is that we want to get a couple good hits. That one just narrowly missed. A couple good hits where we kind of take out a few things all at the same time. Sadly, fallen short there again. And actually, to be completely honest, I think I considered cutting the video there and doing this like a two-parter. I'm like looking at the time, like, Jesus Christ, it's already been an hour. Should we cut it? But we're fighting on. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, no matter how long the video is going to be, just you know, be done with it. Just to keep fighting on until we at least get over this hurdle. Yeah, look at that damage. I'm starting to think that the shutdown power is a lot better than I first gave it credit. Although the cannon does really good damage regardless, I'm not really sure. It's hard to say. Just getting, yeah, I was saying, we're just getting fucking pummeled there. Start that over. Man, I'll tell you what, there's a couple reasons why I want this video over. You know, I can smell my neighbor's grill outside as well, and it's smelling pretty tempting. A nice long distance cannon there. Those are the type of like lucky hits that is gonna score us the win. Unfortunately, I really don't think the fast speed really helps us out too much in this boss fight. Like, I'm not sure there's any form that we really need that speed for. Otherwise, I would say in like stages when you had those sort of mobs and the little the little enemies, I would take the speed like 9 times out of 10. But I don't think where this boss is particularly stationary, kind of in the center here, we really need it at all ever. Yeah, we actually waited for the shutdown, which seems to be kind of a trend now. I think that's kind of what we're coming down to, is that, you know, we'll take the second of peace to do some damage than anything else. Yeah. Get up, get knocked down. Get up, get knocked down. And that's and that's really kind of the trick of the boss fight is that despite the fact that you can kind of rush and power through some phases, I don't think it's really at its whole like something you really can rush through. As funny as it is, you do want to take your time and minimize the damage and time you're spending like face down.
Is that all you've got?
I'm not so sure that those blue waves are something you can dodge through. I'm not so sure on that. Man, he's cooking some barbecue chicken. That's evil. Evil stuff. I mean, firepower is not a bad power to have if you can keep it for more than 2 seconds. Yeah, and there's another one of those sort of ballerina twirls to cannon that doesn't actually produce a cannonball, but just get killed out of it. Yeah, this is particularly ugly.
Yes. Stay there. Unexpected resistance encountered. Activating additional units. Laser output insufficient. Switching hardware.
Yeah, I mean, the firepower was good, but
Damage levels exceeded. Maintain fusion reactor. You must comply.
I mean, then and that right there is a case of just too many mistakes, taking too much damage.
Guard away.
Some good early play here.
Let's finish this.
And that being our first time hitting the face down in the mud.
Do not interfere.
Got a choice shut down there as well. Yeah, that was kind of wish we could get the cannonball off there. That was kind of something. cannonball there. Getting beaten bad. I mean, I think we had some good moments there in that last run, but overall really fell apart there at that what was it, Vespula, something like that. Lucky hit there. I think we had that cannonball really off center, off target.
Let's finish this.
And get a couple good lucky hits with that as well. The sort of moving, strafing cannonball hits. A couple of them really hit where they needed to be. Especially where I'm strafing one direction and he's strafing another. Good dodge there out of some bullets we could otherwise that we shouldn't be really taking damage from to begin with. That one was particularly shitty, but forced our way through that. Missed that cannonball by a mile. Got that one though. You know, at the very least, when we get knocked down, we can retaliate with a cannonball shot, but, you know, we're going to need a lot more than that sort of stuff. All right.
I will not falter. Let's stay there. Unexpected resistance encountered. Activating additional units.
And a pretty good choice shutdown there. That worked out pretty well.
Damage levels exceeded. Venting fusion reactor. Orders must be followed.
Boom, took him down.
I can alter this destiny. Annoying. Got you. Yes.
I mean, even with all this stuff out here, I think there's just, I think our battery's a bit too healthy to really stop us at this point. However, we're making it a close effort, and there's a good reason why. You know, a good thing that they kind of heal us in this fight, or else we wouldn't have been able to survive this fight much longer. You know, a lucky cannonball there that we're seeing in second view, where it actually hit a couple of these sort of blocks as they were materializing. So that's the stuff we really need. as well as that cannonball that just kept on carrying on as well. Any of the sort of free kills will certainly take a nice big chunk there as well. I mean, that's kind of what we don't want. It's just those ones that miss by a mile. And bam. There it is. After a struggle, just probably over an hour. It appears we've beaten this fucking game, you know? God damn.
Made it.
A D, you say? I'm not surprised.
These readings make no sense.
For the safety of everyone on board, we should disconnect her before she reactivates.
You want to lobotomize a spaceship? The core controls everything. Even in a weakened state, if she figures out what we're doing, she'll destroy the ship.
Then we stabilize the core's psyche during the procedure with an operator. Holly, you probably have the most experience in this area.
Hold on. Are you suggesting we plug Holly directly into the core? If anything goes wrong, Holly's brain will end up like a blown fuse. Lemon, it's alright. I can do this.
Interfering with the operation of a core is a serious criminal offense, even for humans. Cactus, you're a police officer. Are we being reckless? Cactus?
Fire in the hole! And that is that.
What did you do?
The way I saw it, the core was the problem. Blowing it up was the fastest way to fix things. Don't worry. I do this kind of thing all the time. Fix things or destroy multi-billion-dollar pieces of equipment on impulse. Both?
Lol, 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 lol. Funny stuff. That looks like that's going to be it. The credits now. Kicking and screaming and whining and bitching. This game was still pretty fun. Again, I'm not as much as I like running and gunning. I'm not in. I guess the twin stick stuff. Yeah, I like my keyboard. I like doing that 2D. So, it's good to step out of my comfort zone. But I did get I got my ass beat hard. But all the same, I do want to, thank the mysterious benefactor for the game and the ability, and the chance to show it off to everyone, and hopefully everyone liked it. Yeah. At the very least, it feels good to start a game that frustrated me to no end, and then saw it to completion, and kind of on one character by itself. There was a couple stages in the end there that we played with Peanut, but for the most part, it was all Holly. But yeah, coming up next, we'll have another. We got Hurricane of the Bar Stray. We got some more Toho, Castle Shikigami, Neko Navy, that stuff.
Amazing. Did you manipulate the others into destroying the core just to get off the ship?
Didn't have to. Just peeked ahead, chose a future I liked.
The humans were right to steal you away. You are dangerous.
Dangerous? I'm just a joker they didn't remove from the pack. If you're looking for your McDuff, keep an eye on that ace on top deck.
You can't possibly mean that green-haired lunatic. She just herded cats to an unlikely victory. I don't respect random luck.
There's no random in Cactus.
What is that supposed to mean?
Homework, Briar Rose. Figure it out, and you might survive your next encounter.
Sounds like some sequel talk to me. But that's going to be it for now. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. And yeah, check out what else we're doing. All right, have a good one.